Topic Live. Yes, you don't know it's yours truly, George Redeem, with my co-host. Yes, co-host is, yes, you don't know, Altia Marie, and none other than the birthday lady, Mary Phillips. It's at the levels, yes, she been having a wonderful birthday and she now stop celebrate till June 9th next year.
Yes, you got it.
The levels. She'll celebrate right back to June 9th next year. It's the levels. And I hear some people are talking about November and December and them are throwing them word from we were born in June. Yes, the levels. But one thing, one thing, Judge chapter 14, verse 25, I have to tell them, say,
George.
everything was made and done and created in June. All right. Yes, the levels. So you don't know. Thursday night at Topic Live, we keep it informative, hilarious, and you don't know. It's a place where we sit on our reason and trash out things, and we have people who are really, really qualified, well qualified to the degree. It's on the levels to talk about these topics, and you don't know. You want to start get your popcorn, you want to start get your drinks, you want to start get your coffee, get your birthday cake, yes, open your birthday gift. Yes, call up your friends and all of them when you know say have some personality where want to rebuild. You see the levels and tell them say oh, some personality talk I go on tonight. And for some of me think me in the hot seat because they couldn't catch me this morning on the program. Yes.
Listen, you on my radar, so if I don't catch you tonight, I'm gonna catch you sometime. So don't worry about it.
You don't know. So this is where we sit down and trash things out. So you don't know. I'm gonna allow Minister Philip and Minister Altia to say the greetings, share, start your watch party. They can't charge us your corona and you watch your party. This is a party they can't touch you no. They say the levels. Yes. So start your watch party. Before I turn over to you, I wanted to make a phone call about 5 times today. Abracadabra to Alicia Beaton. But me say, choose your husband, come, me no want knock the door the wrong time. So me sit down there and they can't trouble me, me no trouble them, Them can't trouble me, Send me big text to ask me be all right and everything. So me ring the phone, guess who answer? Mr. Beaton, me want to sing no air. So me say, you come up here, he say yes. He say yes.
Is it wrong number? Did you say wrong number?
No, I wanted to sing no air. That song there.
Yeah. Okay.
So instead of me sing the song, I said to him, say, you come up here, brother man. He say yes. He say yes.
Come up with it.
Man. So it's just a wonderful thing. So I had to throw that in, You ever meant to throw that in. So is that Cups of Thursday night at Topic Live, Minister Mary?
No, it says all things are possible to those that believe.
Okay, because it would have been problem a while ago, It would have been serious problem a while ago. You go and show up over them, man. You go and show up.
I'm not in Toronto yet, so.
You don't know. So please start your watch party. Invite your friends, your neighbors, even your enemies to watch. Let me say good night to all those who already logged in, logged on, you know what I want, Pantapa, what I want in a Wagwan, so you can talk. Wagwan, you see the levels. So right now at this time, yes, Sister Alta mouth is working, Mary Phillips mouth is working. All of them can talk, they can speak, they can speak, they can chat too. Yes, in the levels. So I'm going to allow them to say up their greetings and their open remarks. I don't know where we're going to the team song and all of that. Yes, in the levels. And Alicia tried to tell me that you are very funny, like them things that we are idiot. Them things that we born under a guinea tree. Yeah, but you are very funny. Can't stay the thing because you can't check me. Now 46, missing many moons. Over to you, Althea.
Funny. Good evening, everyone. And once again, welcome to our Thursday night Hot Topic Live. Yes. We're here with you once again, and we're looking for another awesome, awesome, awesome night. Yes, I just have to do this. I just have to do this. Minister Phillips is here, and just another happy birthday to Minister.
Happy birthday to you.
Let the
Happy birthday to you.
in this
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mary.
change, right?
Happy birthday, Mary. Happy
Is it short?
birthday.
Is that the break dance?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh my goodness.
He should have born June.
It's coming. It's coming. We know it's coming. We know.
Oh my gosh.
We just want to say from the Jumpstart family, Thursday night Hot Topic Live theme. And, everyone, we just want to say happy birthday to you again. I mean, it's not going to finish until 11:59 p.m. So you still have time. You still have time. And we
Yep.
just want to say we love and we appreciate you.
Do not bomb rush this one. She's going to celebrate until June 9 next year.
Okay, Mr.
That's a lot of you sound like that king during Esther time that they celebrated 9 months of birthday party or something.
Yes, and guess what? I hear Joanna says, since is until June 9, I just push back my birthday till June.
Okay.
And he started a birthday feud, right? Because Minister Laura, she said January with her 2 hands up.
Yeah.
Well, Minister Laura, the good thing about January, it starts with J. But right after the sound of J, it gets spoiled.
That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong.
It's okay, Minister Philip. We'll get him. Not to worry. We'll get him. We will.
Yeah. My belly shift. Minister Philip said that is wrong.
I think it was, Sister Alicia said that July with all her balloons. She's saying July. My sister Joy and Anika would agree with her. But
You know why they would agree?
You
know why they would agree? That's why I'm telling you to fill out the month of June alone. Listen to the name of that. July. July. July.
He is so wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. We will believe with you. That is June, okay? All right, we'll give you that. Not to worry. But once again, happy birthday, Minister Phillips. As I was saying, is that we love and we appreciate you, and we're just happy that we know you and we could celebrate with you. And welcome to our family who has logged in, whether it be YouTube or on Facebook, to be a part of Thursday Night Hot Topics Live tonight. Just let it be fun, let it be interactive. The assignment last week was to come with your questions and all that. Hope you remembered. Yes, but we will be delving into things soon. And for now, Minister Phillips will do her greetings.
Oh, well. I like to always say that I'm not a stranger here. I've been, what's the word I'm looking for? I've been not endorsed.
Engrafted into this family? You've been engrafted into this family?
I'll take that word. I've been engrafted into this family. And I'm sounding more like Pastor Redeemed than anything else. And so if you hear something sound just like him, it's because, yeah. But anyway, good night, everyone. And we're welcome to Hot Topic. And we're glad that you're here. And like Minister Gordon said, that, have your questions. We're going to be throwing out some things there. If you find yourself guilty somewhere, ask questions. It's all about self-improvement. We all need that in our lives. If you're not improving, if you're not looking for ways to improve your life, guess what? You're dead. You know what I mean? And so there should always be room for improvement. You always should be sharpening your skills in any type of way. You always want to be the best of you, the best self of you. So we'll talk more, a little more of that later on.
Left 4 feet level. Whoops.
You're on mute, Minister Nash. We're not hearing you.
Good evening, everyone. Grace and peace to the entire world.
Good evening, and welcome. And see, Mr. Sir was troubling you just now. Did you hear what he said?
I heard him. But
I love that dress you have on, and it seems like you're sitting very tall tonight.
I am all 6 feet of me.
And we believe with you. We came into agreement this morning.
Amen, amen.
See, if you guys didn't tell that story, I would have never known. You know what? Why didn't you guys give me the chance to be surprised? Why?
They did me bad, Minister Mary. I'm telling you. Oh my God. But I got them back.
Yes, I realized you threw a few punch, but because I was above the punch, didn't really, you know.
Next time, Pastor J, next time.
You know, it's always a privilege and an honor to have Minister Vivian Nash, Minister Philip. I don't know, but I don't know. God give me one cousin here, boy. Me I tell her she a cousin and she in one. Me used to behave myself, you know. Me used to behave myself. Minister Nash, when I just know me did that, behave myself, don't it?
You're a good choir boy.
I tell you. But well, I tell you, me get broke out somewhere along the line. I don't even know when or how. But I know you're just running for some time. And
well, you know what I did? I medicated everybody already, got them settled down. So I'm good to go. And I overdose anybody.
Oh my God. No, you shouldn't have said that loud.
No, I didn't. Everybody's fed, well taken care of, and yeah, so I'm good to go.
We have a sister, a biological sister. Me not go call her name. When she want go party, she used to care picking in my quill, put him to sleep.
Oh no!
I heard of stories, believe me.
When she said she medicated everybody, I was like, what me?
No. Their own medication.
It's
for anyone who is listening to Overflow, she just did her work. That's all she meant.
So you do the injection work too?
No. By mouth.
So that's the only. I tell her that she have a heart for the fair job. We couldn't do it. But I'm going to ask you, Minister Nash, as you come, if you would just you do your greetings, your open remarks, just greet up the people, and then I'm going to leave the theme song for later on, because knowing that Minister Nash is and we're really happy that you could alter your shift to accommodate this, because a lot of people line up want to hear from the tall lady that we have on set tonight. I mean, when people put in the chat this morning that you're 4 feet 11, me take it up and run with it.
Listen, I am not 4 feet 11, but I will greet. Grace and peace be unto the entire world. Welcome to Thursday Night Live Hot Topic with the host, Mr. Redeem, all 5 feet of him. Yes, and the beautiful Minister Gordon, the lovely, yes, birthday girl, woohoo, for September. All the September people, give me some thumbs up. Hey. The Nana Jig, come on, give me the Nana Jig. of the world. I am Vivian Nash, the host of Real Talk, and I'm just so excited. I did really alter my schedule. I was talking to Minister Gordon. I said, I really kind of feel a way that I had to come into work, but I wanted to be committed to my word. So I went and I did what I had to do, got everybody settled, and I am here. I do hope and trust that whatever happens today, that you will leave empowered, strengthened, transformed, and that you go away with something that you could build on, and not just for yourself, but that you could take it to somebody else. So I am the guest in the hot seat. I'm ready to go. All 5 feet 1 inches of me, dark and lovely, and yeah, greetings.
Sir, we're not hearing you.
Maybe there's a reason.
All right.
Oh.
Sir, maybe you're going to have to come out quick and come back in. Because I think at one moment the internet kind of went slow, and then when he had to talk, he couldn't. But it's all good. This is what internet land is like at times. Sometimes it works absolutely fine, and other times, give a little trouble here and there. So you could take yourself off mute and carry on. Still not hearing you. Are you guys hearing him?
I'm not hearing him.
No, I'm not hearing him either. I think it's something with the internet. I don't know if the audience, okay, audience. So when Mr. Sir gets back, if you can hear him, we would appreciate some thumbs up, because I've had instances with like a time, but they could. Okay, so remove yourself from mute. Go ahead and speak, sir. You know what? I think it's the whole June thing, because he talked about June so much. That's why it just kind of knocked things out the park. Audience, can you hear Mr. Sir speaking? If you can, just give me a thumbs up. I'm not getting any thumbs up, so they're not hearing you either. And there's a little buzzing sound, so I'm not sure what's causing that. Okay, so while you're trying to get that fixed, sir, let me just quickly run through the roll call, and maybe you could try to log out again and see what's happening. Okay. All right. So Minister Laura, she's here with us, and yes, we know she's rooting for January. And Sister Lisa Beaton, she's here and she's rooting for July. And as everyone knows, Sister Pam, yes, it's about September to remember. Marcia Pearson, she's here. She's saying good night, everyone. And Pastor Jerry, Minister Gordon, and Minister Phillips, good night. Love you guys. Sister Joan Clark is saying good night, family. Good night. Sister Pam is saying good evening, everyone. Sister Carlene is here and she's saying good night, everyone. Sister Marcia is saying, Minister Philip, hope you had your day was well spent. Sister Brenda is here. She's saying, love the smiles and laughter. Amen. Dawn is here and she's full of smiles as well. And Sister Pam, she's saying, September rocks. My dad to our Pastor Redeem and Minister Mary Phillips. Happy birthday to you, woman of God. Also greeting to my beautiful daughters and greetings to all our Jumpstart family. Loads of love to all. Amen, amen. Greetings to all. And Sister Pam is saying kings and queens are born in September. Happy birthday, Minister Love Fire Phillips. Love plus fire equals powerful. Judith Grant is saying good night, everyone. Blessings. Sister Tish is saying good night to all my pastors. Happy birthday to an awesome woman of God. Minister Phillips is saying, good evening, Jumpstart family. And my dad is saying, I'm hearing you, my daughter. Let him go offline, then come back. And yeah, no one was hearing you, sir. They were all saying no audio. So that's the end of the roll call for now. So you could unmute your mic and try and see if it's working. Not hearing you. Check and see if your volume is up. It's up. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right. So Minister Phillips, you could go ahead. I'm just going to try to sort out this, okay? But you could go ahead in what you have to do. All right?
Okay. All right. So for the, I think it's a couple of weeks. I think this is week number 2 that we've been talking about. Let's get the topic right. The importance of personal growth and development, ways to build self improvement. And so we've been dialoguing and finding out ways to improve oneself, because there's always, ways to improve yourself. So one of the things that I've been studying and came up with is number 1, and Minister Nash, you could kind of chime in there when, if you have something, just, put your hand up. But self-analysis. And self-analysis is defined, let me see if I find it. I have notes all over the place. And I think I have it somewhere here. Is to analyze oneself, to find out what it is that you want to do different in your life. So sometimes, persons could be at a standstill in their lives and don't know what to do. And so there are times when it's good to get someone that will help you unpack what's going on with you. And then there are times when you can figure out what you need to do. So personal development includes activities that improve your awareness and identity. It develops your talent and potentials, and enhances the employability and overall quality of life. Taking an active role in figuring out what needs to change or what needs to be improved in your life. So you have to know, because it's hard to make any type of move concerning your life if you don't know what you need to do. You have to pinpoint what you need to do, and you have to, make, reservation to do something about it. Developing new skills. That might be something that you might want to do. Develop new skills. Expanding your knowledge. There's something that you want to know more about. So you go after that. Let's say you want to know more about computers, or you want to know more about history or something of that nature. You're trying to develop the person that you are. You want to know more about how to write a poem. Let's say you're a poet. And sometimes in self-development, you find out things about yourself that you did not know, and potentials and gifts that's in you that has been embedded in you for a long time, and you didn't know that it was there. Another thing you can do is develop new skills. New skills is very important, because our world is so technology savvy. And if you're not, qualified, or even, even, know how to probably turn on a computer. Our 21st century babies, they know how to do that. A 3-year-old knows how to turn on, they know how to touch this and that and the other, because they were born into this era. But some of us that has not been born into this era, have to learn. And some people are lazy about it because they're saying, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But eventually what will happen, you'll get left behind, right? So develop new skills. There's always something that you can learn. There should never be a boredom in your life at all. Take a class, take a cooking class, take write poems, read a book a month. You know, there's so many things that you can do for self-development. Expanding your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. Personal growth is an ongoing process of self-discovery. And that's what I like, because I find that as it's happening in my own life, I'm finding out that things that I thought I didn't know, and my ability to do certain things, and my self-awareness, and beginning to gain confidence. I remember, if I should share that, when I first started Facebook Live, I used to do it once a week, and once a week was a lot for me, once a week. And I didn't want to. And so I did it for 2 years straight, faithfully did it. And then I thought that was it. You know, I'm like, okay, Lord, that must be it. And I took like a nice break after Christmas. I took a break and I was toying with the idea, but the Holy Spirit did not want me to let it go. And instead of doing it once a week, no, I'm doing it 5 days a week. But what I've learned, though, that during that 1 day a week, God was preparing me, developing my confidence in and stretching me a little bit, because sometimes we need to be stretched. Most of us don't like change. We like comfort. We like to be where we are, but that's the way I am. That's how my grandmother raised me. That's my culture, you know, and so on and so forth. Okay, so personal growth is an ongoing process of self-discovery, and is crucial to achieving success in every area of your life. So here are some, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to interject. What you're saying is so important. And with us desiring to develop ourselves, we also got to look at the things that will hinder that development.
Sure.
And one of our greatest enemy to self-development is self-procrastination.
I got that.
When you start to procrastinate, you are definitely setting up a roadblock where you are not going to go anywhere. So again, I just want to point that out, that procrastinating is an enemy to somebody who desires to develop themselves, whether it be developing yourself in cooking skills and all of that stuff. If you procrastinate, if you keep on saying, you know what, tomorrow I'll take that class, or next week I'll take class, you know, that could become your greatest enemy. And another thing that will cause us to not move forward is you got to get along with yourself. You understand? You got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then you won't be motivated to develop yourself. And I just wanted to just point that out a little bit, that procrastinating and not believing in yourself is one of our greatest enemies in the pursuit of developing ourselves.
And that's well said, because I have that procrastination there too. And so the fact of that procrastination is not a character trait.
No.
It's a habit that was developed, and you could unlearn it. It's not something that you're stuck with for the rest of your life. You can do something about procrastination, because it is important to self-development. Because like Minister Knott said, if you keep procrastinating, you will never do it.
Never.
Years will come, 2020, 21, 22, 23, but you shoulda, coulda, woulda, and have not done anything about that.
And that's why, Minister Mary, that's why it's so important too. And I just want to say this bit is that we must set goals, and we have to, our goals must be realistic. You understand? And achievable.
Right.
And things that if we set the goals and they're not realistic and not achievable, then we're going to get disappointed, and then it's going to cause us to go backwards.
Right.
So one of the things that we got to do in self-development is we got to set goals. We have to set goals and let them be obtainable and achievable, setting the timelines and being obedient to those timelines.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and all of that is in my notes. So that's fine. That's awesome. And a few things I want to mention too. There are some ideas you may want to take into consideration in your self-development. Empathy. It is about objectively comprehending different perspective, which is in turn provide a wealth of insight into your own perspective. You know, you have to have M is who?
That's Minister now.
Oh, what was that? I see somebody different there. I was wondering. It was Keon. Yeah. So so yeah, you want to have empathy. You know, most people, you know, they want to develop, you know, and they want to do different things in their life, but they're not, like Minister Nas hit it on the head. They're not patient with themselves. You know, if you did something and you're ready to, you know, throw off the handle and you're mad and you don't want to try again. I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, could you consider the woman that was sick with the issue of blood for 12 years? And the Bible said that she went to every doctor she knew. That's a woman that she didn't have there are times probably she was discouraged, but guess what? She knew that somebody had the solution to what she had, and she kept on trying. So you cannot procrastinate. You have to keep on trying. You have to have achievable goals that you know you can do. Don't set a big old goal and you know you haven't even mastered something small. You haven't even mastered reading a book a month, but you want to do goals that is so big that you know you're going to get burned out and tired. So achievable goals is important, and write them down. Get a schedule. If you have you know, say, okay, I'm going to do this today. This is my goal to do X and X today. So you've got to monitor yourself. Anybody has anything that they want to chime in here?
I was just gonna insert persistency and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might at first it might not seem as if it's going the way we plan it,
Right.
but keep at it. Don't give up. Just keep at it. And today, let's say for example, if it's the reading of the book, and you might say, okay, I'm gonna dedicate half an hour a day to reading.
Right. Yes.
Something may come up where you might not meet that half an hour target one day, but don't give up and say, oh, I didn't meet my half an hour, I failed.
Right.
Just keep at it. Maybe the next day, go 45 minutes. You know what I mean? But just be persistent in what we're doing, be consistent, don't give up, just keep going.
Right.
And that really helps too, because a lot of times, and people in general have a tendency to even set goals and say, okay, I'm going to do so and I'm going to do so, and start out really, really
good. Yeah.
And a week, wow, every day for the first week. And the second week is like, okay, we make it to half a week, and then that's it. And it's done. It's kind of like even being at church, right? And many churches may be able to testify to this, where people will meet, people will come up with great ideas and say, okay, we're going to do so and we're going to do so. Start out really good, and then the consistency, people fall apart in the consistency area. And then each time is just trying to rebuild again, trying to do it over again. But if we should just purpose in our heart that, okay, we're going to do this comes what may, then we just keep at it until one, we meet the goal that we so desire and even exceed the goal and is able to set other goals beyond that.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the things, yes, sorry, one of the things too that we have to recognize is that accountability in self-development is very important. When you have somebody to be accountable to, that's somebody to, like, you know, when you feel like you're gonna fall short of it. And for us ladies, I mean, I know we have a handsome gentleman on the panel, but one of the common self-development things for us women is we want to lose weight, right?
Yep,
Most
that's a big
people
one.
say that, you know what, we want to lose weight. And so you're head on your track, you want to lose weight. I would suggest for something like that, you get a partner, you prepare your eating plan, and you work towards it. And as Minister Gordon said, you might eat something today that you shouldn't have. Don't abandon the plan. You
Mhm.
understand? Get somebody and make it fun. When you're doing self-development, you got to make it enjoyable. So it's something that you look forward to doing every day. It's something that you can make fun, bring a game into it, because at the end of the day, your goal is to achieve where you're going in
Right.
essence.
Yeah.
And also having somebody to be accountable. If you fall short, you can go to them and say, you know what, I had a chocolate bar today, and you know what, I shouldn't have, and all that stuff. So I mean, again, accountability is another positive key to have when heading to self-development.
I think she was checking my notes.
One spirit.
No,
Yeah.
I
Go ahead,
I
Pastor.
I am so excited down the avenue that you all are on about this. Last week, a young man and I were talking in Kingston, and this is a guy that repeatedly get in trouble with the law. We actually grew together, and he was asking me, "How do you leave from Father Jerry to Pastor Jerry?"
Mm.
And I tell him, he said, "Me know God real, but how you left from being Jerry, the gangster,
Mm.
Jerry, the gallus, Jerry, the dancehall man, Jerry, the nothing good, to become Pastor Jerry?" And I said to them that, you see, even if God wanted to change me and I don't want to change,
Mhm. Mm.
could not.
Mm-mm.
And some of us do set some unrealistic expectation of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? We tell ourselves that, no, you don't know, boy, me in a gang, and even though me say me put on gang, the stigma gang still there. I can't correct nothing. Me can't do nothing. People are gonna always see me as for where I'm coming from,
Right.
right? I sat with that young man and I tell that young man, when I give my life to God, I had work to do on me. Pastor Glendon Powell is just a fence part us right now. This place is his, right? He's the pastor I wanted to kill when I got to the church in Unity Hall with my gun. That man fathered me. That man picked me up to take me to prayer meeting. That man teach more than it is to fast and pray and seek God. Now, I could have rejected that.
Mhm.
I could have simply said, boy, it don't make sense to try that in a one way of life, me know, and one way of life only. So guess what? Me no plan to develop. You have some people who just don't see themselves developing.
Right.
Developing themselves. They don't see it possible.
Yep.
Everybody come talk down to them. Everybody come put them down. Everybody come see the worst in them till them start see and believe the worst in them. Now, the first time I met Minister Vivian Nash and then hear the woman testimony, me almost call her a liar, you know, because she don't look nothing like
Topaz.
where she coming from.
Mm.
That's development. That's personality development she achieved right there, right? There are, it is expected of a man to do the things and to sit behind bars. It is expected. People put man in, and there are some ladies out there right now putting themselves can't come back from certain things. It might not be what I done or what Minister Nash did, but some simple little thing, they can't come back. 3 man trick them and left them with 3 baby. And they see themselves stuck with 3 baby and they're going dead with 3 baby and nothing happen. Yeah, I was never a chef. If my 24-year-old daughter tell her the last meal me cooked for her when she was 7 years of age, you wonder how she still believe it was that terrible. But as gradually I start to cook and people start love the food, I'm starting, the first thing to do, I want chef school, one of my girlfriend enroll me now. I'm going to go and tell the chef straight, me can't read and write, brother. So if me got succeed in this, you have to just give me the practical. Me no mind, me will do the work. But if you are going to just come tell me right after you attack and give me book and tell me this, it don't make sense, me, Giant. And he was amazed that publicly me tell him say me can read and write. So if you think, and at my work with me, I graduate top of the class. So Minister Nash, you've been living a different personality. I know me can't see it. I mean, you're sitting down so all nice and stush and holy and saved. Only if they know the harp has never yet been told. And they see I put on some dance for real time. Me can just imagine before you know the Lord. You see the levels you could have broken down and all of them things there. You know, talk to us, Minister Nash. Talk to those ladies. I know Minister Philip have our notes and she's coming back at you. But if you can just spend about 5-10 minutes, right? Because trust me, Minister Philip notes are some serious notes. When she pull notes by you to ask her questions, right? But we have some people right now that they don't see them personality are gone away. They're stuck with whoever they run up in. They can't read, so I saw them I go dead. Yeah? I mean, it was an unrealistic expectation of yours to do better. And now you're influencing other women. You have a prison ministry to the women and all of them something. That's a huge development, you know. I mean, when you can go back to where you are come from and try to uplift and develop people, it's simple say you achieve in that area.
True. And you know, one of the things that I want to say, and I'm really speaking from my heart right now, as you've just opened up the question. The thing about me, and many of who know me, and I'll just share a little bit, is coming from a life of incarceration. You know, coming from a life of not knowing the love of a father, coming from a life of abuse. When I say abuse, you know, in terms of in a relationship with a man, and you know how women, how you talk to a man and you think they love you and all that stuff, in searching for love in all the wrong places. And what is the pivotal point for somebody like me is to really get exposed to the real you. When you get exposed to the real you and to know that there is more to life, that is the key to start to develop yourself, knowing that you are more than what people see. Now it takes us messing up. It might take some of us to go to prison, but you know what, Pastor Jerry, I got to a place where I said, you know what, there's got to be more than what it is. Now listen. And I always say this to persons that we are gifted beings. We have come equipped with gifts and everything that we need to complete that which God has called us to do. However, when we don't believe in those gifts, we use it for other things. So for example, I'm an eloquent speaker. I can speak to any crowd. I can speak to kings, queen, and prime minister. But because I was so underdeveloped, I was using it the wrong way. You understand what I'm trying to say? So when we don't develop those gifts, we use it, we misuse it. One, because we don't believe in it. One, we can't believe it's us. So me misusing those gifts made me a popular drug trafficker. You know, I was a part of a group where we call ourselves the SWAT team.
What?
Anywhere the yes,
What?
we own.
Sharp.
And we called ourselves the SWAT team. And the reason why we called ourselves the SWAT team is because we only worked when there was a drought. We only worked when things was difficult. We only worked when nobody else couldn't get the job done.
Wow.
Right? So we were so articulate. We were like, what would you call the snipers? You understand? You know, you only call out snipers when, you know what?
Yeah.
We're, you know, when you know,
impossible tasks that need to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are the elites of the elites. We're specially trained. Now, as I said, have the development, have the skills, but using it the wrong way. You know what I'm trying to say? And I mean, that underdeveloped skill got me into many countries, got me doing a lot of things. And that skill also ended me up in prison. Not once, but twice. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that is that one of the things that we need to recognize when we're dealing about personal development, we got to know who we are. We got to know the gifts. We got to know how to operate them, and we got to build on them. And it goes back to what I was saying is that we got to know the source that we're going to build on those gifts and those skills. The right person has to be developing us. For me, I was gifted at speaking. My drug dealer friend was my source that was developing that gift, but for the wrong thing. So you got to see how the source works. So he was the one that was training me, but he was the wrong source. So it's when you come to know yourself, you understand? And you're saying to yourself, well, wait a second, it took a prison cell for me to get to the place where, girl, you are so gifted. You got to now switch that gifting and hook up yourself with a true source to develop. You know what one of my friends said to me? Help me, Minister Garden. She said to me one day, Vivian, do you know you're gifted to talk? And seriously, when I thought about it, it's a good thing. Because when you're gifted to speak, it's a good gift because your gift will bring you to places that your education can't bring you. That's why you got to develop your gift. Because my gift brought me where my education could never take me. My gift is why I'm sitting at this job today. My gift is why I was the president of the largest the director, sorry, of the largest Christian prison fellowship in Canada. My gift got me on Huntley Street. My gift got me to be a published author. Because guess what? I realized that I am gifted and I need to develop those gifting. And then you know what, Pastor Jerry, I want to encourage somebody. When you develop those gifts, you're going to go back to the very place and expose that gift to other persons. And that's why I went back to Fort Augusta prison, to let them see. When you come in contact with your gift and when you hook yourself up to the right choice to help you to develop that gift, there you are.
Go ahead, Minister Garden. Go ahead.
The thing as I'm listening is that in being developed, one has to be able to overcome objections. Because let's say, for example, with your testimony, with Pastor Redeem's testimony, if you're not careful, if you don't know who you are, you'll find yourself trying to defend yourself to people, because people might be saying, you know, you can't change. People once they're a certain way, they can't change, and they'll say that they'll change and all that. You know, so when you know who you are, and when you know that people will come up on you to basically let you live in your past, and you know that you have a set aim, a set determination to get past your past, and only visit it when you're going to pull someone out. Only visit it when you're using it as a testimony to give God glory, because people will have a tendency to try to live in our past. Yep. We have to be able to overcome that, knowing who we are, knowing where we're heading. And you know what I mean? So people just need to be developed in that area as well. So the least little thing happen, they don't just revert to where they're coming from.
And that's why, you know, before Pastor Jerry talks, and I just want to talk to somebody who might be going through that. That is why you got to develop yourself, and you got to believe, one, that you're delivered. You got to believe in your deliverer. You understand? And the only time one would revert to your past, one, just to take a glance to see where God is bringing you from, and also one, to testify to somebody that you know what the Lord is saying to most of us? He says, you are a witness that I am God who's able to deliver. When you see yourself as a witness, nobody can deter you to go back. You are now a witness to somebody else. I look at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? I'm a living witness that God can heal you from cancer because he's healed me. I'm a living witness and a testament that God can deliver you from not one prison sentence, but two. I'm a living witness. So you got to look at yourself as a witness that God is going to use you as a witness that somebody could see, somebody can touch, somebody can hear. And then they'll say, well, if Vivian could be there. I mean, it will take me all night if I were to talk about where God has brought me from. You understand? And the hurdles and the pitfalls and the disappointments and what kept me going was every time he says, who was it that called you? Who was it that anointed you? Who was it that delivered you? Who was it? And as long as you can keep that, Minister Gordon, and to the panel, trust me, it'll keep you moving. It is your gift and your calling that's going to keep you on that line. People have abandoned me. People have given up on me. But I always say to myself, don't give up on yourself. At the end of the day, don't give up on yourself. Rise above it. Trust me, and let it go. You can develop your skills. Connect yourself to the source and believe. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
It is amazing. Because that's just the truth. Everybody is gifted. It's just that some people don't see them gift as a gift. They don't see it. Because when you look and see how God called Peter, Peter was a fisherman. And God called him. God didn't call him and say, come, let me make you a carpenter. God said, I'm going to make you a fishers of man. When you look at Paul, the same aggressive aggression he has as Saul, God just anointed and turned it around. I too have the gift of chatting. I mean, me and Bridget I got certain place. Then I left me because they said when police stop, we are road. And one man I got talk, we out tight. It's Jerry. Police stop me for write me ticket, and instead of they write me ticket, they give me $5,000 to go buy gas, put in a vehicle for go where me I go. Police. When is there that we are around normally, and you are give them money. You see what I'm saying? No. You said something that is so profound, Minister Vivian Nash. I know I said it earlier, but one of the important things to know when people really achieve that personality development in areas that they never have it is that they tend to go back. When you can go back and get that respect from people, it's just amazing, right? I hear Altes tell me a testimony as she going to Canada, and I shock. You see what I'm saying? Every one of us here on this forum can testify that with this whole personality development and growth and achievement thing, we have some angle where we can say to the person, this is a living testimony. And I'm going to turn back over to our moderator, Minister Philip, because I know she has some question, and I don't want Minister Vivian to run without a question, because I mean, persons are gaining from this, because I know some people sit down now looking at Minister Nash and say, serious? Traffic? Prison? SWAT?
Carry going to.
Yeah,
Don't look like where she came from, huh?
I'm saying, and this is great for those out there in cyber world, because there are persons who are flawed, marred, watching this program, and yet they hear Pastor Jerry where I'm coming from and all of that. But here we have a female who have been there, and when people look at her personality, then yes, she says some people walk out, leave her. Some people ditch her. Some people give up on her. Nobody wants to be identified with that personality, most people. But look at her now. She's traveling the world, doing positive. I mean, implanting in people's life, telling people that they can be developed.
Minister Pastor Jerry, can I just say this? And I know somebody will really gravitate to this. If we look at it, and I know Minister Mary is probably going to come with something in this avenue. Look at it this way. I was at the most top of the line drug trafficker, right? Look at my skills, leadership skills, administrative skills, all those skills I had. because I knew how to select my team. I knew how to train my team. I knew how to execute. Trust me. I mean, I remember one time I was coming across the United States border, and I'm going to say this openly because you can say this when you're free and delivered. And I remember I was strapped with 4 keys of coke, K, one in front, one behind, one at the side, and the other at the side. And because I had a top end job, I was an executive, I dressed the part. So I had on my little trench coat and, my little short self and you look at pumps and stuff, right? And when I got when I got across, they pulled me over and they were questioning me and asking me, oh, why were you in New York, da 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 da. And I answered the question very well. And this one gentleman was giving me a hard time. And I said, you know what, sir? Imagine you are giving me a hard time while other persons must be going through with drugs. And I was the one strapped with 4 keys of cocaine. Why? Because I was able to articulate my words. I had good presentation skills and all of that. So now that I'm rooted in God, I developed those skills. And now I'm using those skills for the kingdom of God. You understand? I'm training people to go into prison. I'm administrating stuff. You know what I'm saying? So again, developing my skills, but now using them to the glory of God because he gave them to me from before I came into the earth.
And the thing is that the enemy has a plan for our skills too. We were born with them. God knows we were born with them, but because of no mentoring, no nurturing, father wounds, mother wounds, all kind of wounds that we deal with, then of course it looks better on the other side because we don't know really at that point in our life that it is a God-given skills. It's God-given gifts that God has given us that the enemy took and filtered straight and allow us to use it for the enemy. But I wanted to ask you this because you hit on the right note there. I don't know, you must have been looking in my notes. But she have the bug over there, Pastor. But okay, so you talk about your strengths. We want to talk about strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so we know of your strength, and then we know each of us has them. We have strengths, we have weaknesses.
I didn't know anything about my dad. I don't know nothing about a father love. And that caused me to get into multiple relationships, seeking that love. So because I wanted to be loved, every time I heard the word, it could be a lie, I believed it. So I find that was one of my greatest weaknesses. Didn't know what true love was. Didn't know how to identify it. Didn't know what it looked like. To me, true love was, giving somebody money. True love was, if I gave them sex. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I don't know what it looks like. So I took everything as love. I heard the word and I believed it because there was not an example to follow after.
Exactly. Yes.
So that was one of my greatest downfall. But I want to tell somebody this, that when I came in contact with the all-sufficient God, the greatest lover of anyone, I was exposed to that type of love. And then I understood, you understand, and embraced that love. And that is the love that I use now as a pilot to guide me.
Do you think that probably, do you know your father presently or?
No, my dad passed away.
Okay. So you're saying that you've been healed from the father wound. You're fine.
You know what? I got healing from that. And how I got healing from that? When the Holy Spirit revealed to me that I was dealing with the spirit of rejection.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. The day that I got deliverance from it, God showed me the spirit of rejection. And that spirit led me to those relationships. And I saw myself as only deserving that which I got. So when I dealt with that spirit of rejection, because the spirit of rejection will bring you to a place where you don't even accept the love of God.
Right, exactly.
Because you're feeling that you're going to do something and he's not going to love you. You're feeling that if you mess up, he's not going to love you.
Mhm.
So once I dealt with that, and it wasn't long ago that I realized that I really was dealing with the spirit, and God had to expose it to me, you
Mhm.
know. And you know what I did when I got deliverance from that? I was in a relationship, and I made a video and I sent it to this gentleman. And I said, now I know why I stayed into this abusive relationship. Now I know why I allowed you to treat me like that. Now I know why I did that. You want to know why? Because I was dealing with the spirit of rejection. But I
Yes.
want to tell you that I'm free from that spirit. I will never settle for less.
Mm. That's
And
good.
that's how I got healing and deliverance when I dealt with that spirit of rejection. And I want to tell you something too, as I sit on there, I dealt with it with church pastors, seeking love, seeking a father like pastor. And that father like pastor hurt you, brought me right back to how my dad rejected.
Of
You
course.
see,
Yes.
we got to be careful about
Yes.
pastors.
Yeah.
And when we look for them as father figures, especially women who don't know the love of a dad, and you look
Mhm.
at a man of God and you look at him as a father, and then
Right.
he hurts you. You understand? Because guess why he hurts you? Because you look at him as a father, and
Right.
you say, how could a father hurt their daughter? Again, that is because you're dealing with that spirit of rejection,
Mhm.
wanting to be loved, but only find yourself rejected.
Yeah. That's good. Pastor, your hands are up.
You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
On that note, I saw my brother walk in the room, and I know baby Isaac is up and running about, so she might be running in and running out. Just help me welcome Rochelle. Anyway, see that name, Rochelle Arbine, is my wife. No matter how you see it at all, is my wife. Once it, Rochelle Arbine, I see that. Yes. Back to you, Minister Philip.
And that's really good because the father wound, many, and then we're not really talking about that, but we're just talking about strength and weaknesses. Let me point to you, Minister Gordon. What do you think are some of the weaknesses that you're still working on? I mean, you don't have to tell us everything, but just kind of, what do you think is some of the weaknesses that you're dealing with?
Go, cuz, I'm listening. Your daddy and your mama there too.
Because see, I'm asking these questions because persons that are watching might say, well, you know what, that's my weakness, and because sometimes people don't know what they know they have an issue, but they don't know what it is until they see a picture of it or see somebody act like that, and they realize, oh, okay, yeah, that's my problem right there. So they can pinpoint it and at least try to work on it. Because if you don't know what's wrong with you, if you don't know you're mean and you think that's you, you know what I'm saying? And other persons say that she's so mean, but you look like, no, I'm not mean. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to pinpoint what is going on with you so that you can overcome.
I guess it could be a good thing. It could also be a bad thing. It depends on one's perspective. Because,
Okay.
for example, you know how sometimes you see people and somebody will say, well, people are this way, that way, whatever. But for me, I like to give people the benefit of a doubt.
Okay, yeah.
I like giving people the benefit of a doubt, and then that in itself could be it could be a good thing because you don't judge people as soon as you see them or anything like that. It could also be a bad thing because you could give somebody the benefit of a doubt and then later on they disappoint you, right? So like I said, the weaknesses could be, in a sense, a good thing. It could also be a negative thing. It just depends on how one looks at it. Sir, why are you smiling?
Hey, for your father, really your father, Your father is really your father.
I'm
Do
listening.
you answer that question? I want to ask that question again. What is some of the weakness? What are some of the weakness that Althea is dealing with?
I just said it. I just said it. It's given people, at times, given people the benefit of a doubt.
Oh, okay.
You can give someone the benefit of a doubt and it could backfire in a negative way.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if right off the bat, you're not someone who will just, quickly judge people and this and that, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna give them. So that's why I go, it depends on how you look at it. Because it could be for the good, it could also be for the bad. And that's one of the things. And that question have been asked to me even going in a job interview, right? And people will ask that question, what are some of your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses? And this is one of the things that I, deal with, right? Because I would say, you know what, I'm going to give people a benefit of a doubt, but that can end up hurting me also in the long run, right?
Don't you come into me with that,
Say that again.
I'm just waiting on Minister Mary.
Okay, go ahead.
Same question, Pastor.
I know she going to smith on me. But the weaknesses that I am dealing with, the number one, and it should deserve a drum roll. I oftentimes heard the phrase, but never really believed it until my life, I get to the stage in life where I understand things. My weakness is my strength.
Okay, explain that. Your weakness is your strength.
I am a perfectionist at anything I do.
Okay.
Yes, thanks, Archie. I get it right? Give me my tiki, give me my tiki. Me get it right. I used to say I'm a perfectionist. And she, my thing on my head is perfectionist. Yes, I get it right. Yeah? I'm a perfectionist at what I do. Even what I can't do. Right? You find that I cannot play keyboard. I'm not a musician. But I know music keys. I know when it connect. So if I'm in a worship service and they play off, it disturbs me, it throws me off. Mm-hmm. I can't clean a house, but I love a clean house. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm doing it to the best of my ability. If it fails, it must not fail because of me. So my weakness in that now is that I expect every human being must be cute in whatever they do. And I never realized that the phrase, your strength can also be a weakness, was reality until I see it turn up in my life. I lost a lot of things because of that. I left a lot of things that is mine that I should not walk left because of that. So you find that my patience with people to get things done was thin. Okay. I will come to you, Minister Philip, and said to you that, all right, we're going to cook some oxtail and bean. Right. And you decide you're going to cook the meat and I'm going to cook
the beans,
the starch, right? Okay. I mean, don't cook my rice and peas, go cut up vegetable, mix juice, and you know start cook the oxtail yet. Yeah. Me now, I say, I joke because me not think say the oxtail in for thaw, then clean up, then wash, then seal. Me just go ahead, don't do what me I do. Get on it and find you sitting on your phone, texting Minister Gardner asking her how is our day, and how is Keon, and how is Minister Vivian Nash. And me bring the right this up. And I hope Rochelle Gardner attend to Isaac now and now listen. And when time me get into a place like that, me just shut down. Anything you ask me, I'm good. You see the minute you hear me say I'm good, I'll tell Rochelle and them can tell you I'm not good. Right? And you find that the silent treatment coming. I mean, I talk to nobody. Okay. You find that if me can't do it, me find somebody, find some money and pay them to do it. Now, my strength, and I can admit it, and there are many persons out there who finding fault with people and saying everything is people. The problem just may be your strength is your weakness.
Yeah. I like where you're going with that, the part of, because I know I have a tendency, that same tendency to shut down. You know, if that person may not know, but I know I've shut down on the inside. You know, so how do you plan to modify that, or even to overcome that type of attitude?
The process started
Because
off.
probably number one, your wife know you well, so she will know when you shut down. Many persons that don't know you wouldn't even know that you shut down, but you know, and the people you live with know, right?
The process started, I come a far way, to be honest with you. I come such a far way.
Okay.
And it's through the help of my pastor, Philbert Johnson. He sat me down one day. It was three of us talking, me, him, and my wife, Rochelle. And he said, Rochelle, you know, so we have to be careful with journal. And I was like, well, Pastor, I get that now. Can I start search myself? I wonder what me do when I go tell Rochelle no. Can me know him and no fridge, you know, keep nothing. You see what I'm saying? So when him said to Rochelle, said, boy, you know what journal problem? Journal problem is that journal's strength is his weakness. And him start pointing it out. And me I say, Poopa got a true. Never look through that lens. Me always see that is somebody now do, and somebody wrong, and somebody this and somebody that. And now she said, it's my weakness. So what I started to do purposely now, I tell me, journal, that you won't fix that.
Okay.
So nobody now can do it like you. So you know we're going to start do, accept them for how they do it.
Right.
Because you cannot get a gallon out of half pint. If somebody just be half pint, them a half pint, accept them for being half pint. Yeah? And if the minute you try stretch them, is your strength becoming weakness. The minute you start push them beyond their capacity, a cow can run longer the length of rope you give it.
Yeah.
So a cow 10 yard of rope and expect him to run 20, he's a madman.
Yeah.
And it got to make me because I go beat the cow till him dead. Say 120 and I go 10 length of rope.
It could only give 10.
So I start to reverse the thing back on me. You see the levels? So where I can do something, I just say, you know what? If that's where you are, I am not going to come where you are. And if I have to come and help you to fix what I need to get done, I start practice these things. And trust me, it's working in my life. It's working in my life. I don't expect people to speak and present and to do or to be me when I come to any forum. I used to do that. When I preach, I go up and preach and start going somewhere. I used to sit down and trust me. But when I learned that my strength is my weakness, I learned to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
Just to put in here, Minister Diliana, she's here and she's saying, can step out the spirit, the orphan spirit. She also said, people pleaser can stem out of rejection. And she said, wow, that's good, perfectionist.
And then many persons are like that. But, and I like what you said, Pastor, about the fact that you're expecting a gallon from a person when they only have a pint. And so that's going to cause conflict. That's even in relationship at home, even in marriages, even in friendship. You know, we tend to try to draw out of someone that doesn't have the capacity that, you know, so how do we, and that could be anybody who want to answer, probably Minister Nash, how could we able to balance that in our own lives? Because we have the capacity for a certain thing, and then we put that demand on someone else. Because you're a leader, by born leader, you have the skills for leadership. And so being a leader, it's kind of hard because, you know, you're a leader and you expect things to be a certain way, you know, and you're prompt and you're a goal setter and things of that nature. And so you're leading people that doesn't have, you're leading those Israelites that were in Egypt for 400 years and they are Egypt minded. You know, their minds are not renewed. And so you end up like Moses hitting the rock twice when you're supposed to hit it once because you're frustrated.
Well, in the name of Jesus, I hope I don't have to strike that rock. Now, the thing about it is this, Minister Mary, and this is across the board for leaders. We got to acknowledge one thing, that everything rises and falls on a leader. And one of the things that I always say as a leader myself is that what if I'm expecting you to do something And you don't have the development skills, you don't have the ability to do it. My responsibility is to equip you, to put
Okay.
you into that position.
Mhm.
Now, if I put you in a position as a leader, knowingly that you don't have the skills, you
Mhm.
don't have the maturity, I am setting you up to fail.
Yes, yes.
That's what's happening to a lot of people. That one, they're in positions that they're not equipped to, so they're going to fail. And the responsibility goes back on the leader. So,
Right.
therefore, the leader, if, for example, I do prison ministry, right? Now, many persons might say, well, I've never been to prison. I don't know what it's like. That's fine. You don't have to go to prison. My job is to equip you to go to the prison.
Right.
All I need to know is that you're interested, you have a desire. That's all I need to work with. My job is to then equip you. So once I have equipped you, once I've trained you, once I've positioned you, then you're accountable, because then you're able to function.
Right.
So in answering that question, is my role in that is, I'm not going to do it myself, because then I'm going to be burnt out. So I'm going to get like-minded people, I'm going to train them properly, and then I'm going to position them based on their development level, because
Mhm.
not everybody develops at the same place.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that's the mindset that every leader needs to have. You
Yeah.
understand? Because at the end of the day, everything is going to fall on you,
Yeah.
And even now, I'm in the process of doing something like that, and it takes time. You got to find out the giftings of people. You got to develop those gifts, help them develop them,
Right.
bring them to a place that they believe in themselves, and then equip them to do the work. And then you could sit back and they could work.
Right. One of the
Yeah,
things, self-development, that we have to ask ourselves, because we actually we gearing into self-development. What do I want? What it is that I want? Because you might be dancing around that, like we said that earlier, that you could have a 50 things that you want, but it's not possible for you to be working on the 50 things at the same time. Because if you have to pinpoint what it is that you want to do. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but the key to that is as well. For example, let us take our youth who are going to university. Now, you're going to say to yourself, what, even before you get to that stage, before you even get to kids nowadays, I asked my grandson, my daughter's stepson, I said, what do you want to be? He's 11. He says to me, I want to be a pilot. So
Mm-hmm.
now he has identified what he wants to become.
Right, right,
He
right.
is now at this age has to work on identifying the skills, and
Exactly.
at this age work on those skills.
Mm-hmm.
I said to him, listen, to fly Air Canada, you got to know French. So I started teaching him French a little bit. So you see what I mean? So you have to develop those skills. You can't wait till you go into university, then you figure out what you want. You got to start working on those skills to
Right.
before you can. So you're right. Identify what you want. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Then, what are the skill sets do I need to achieve being a pilot? What are the skill sets do I
Exactly.
need to be a nurse? My daughter is a registered nurse. And right as she came out of junior high, going into high school, she started working on the skills and the courses, and
Right.
she's been a nurse for 15 years, and she's
Right.
still developing those skills to go up the ranks.
Yeah.
So again, a key question: what do you want to be, or where do you see
You want.
yourself?
Yeah. What do you want? And that's, to me, for that's the core of the developmental stage of a person that wants to do something. You have to pinpoint, where do I want to go, and what is it going to take for me to get there?
Exactly.
Yes. Anyone wants to add to that, Minister?
Mr. Holland said something in chat. He said, good answer, Pastor. When I was working as a landscaper in the United States, no one could work like me and make things done as I would like it to. But when I try to do what I try to do most of the time is to let them think they're the boss for 1 hour. And if they can get things done my way, then it makes my feelings get better.
got to be your daddy, man. Got to be your daddy. But I love where the question and Minister Nash at. Yeah. Because the truth is some people don't want to develop themselves. You could have talked chalk or iron.
Yeah.
They hide behind the wall of shame, embarrassment.
Yeah.
Procrastination is a defense for some people.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
afraid to put a step forward. They're afraid to do this. And this is one of the things to as I tell you, I gladly I highlight and understand my weakness, right? Is my strength. Because I'm not the one that procrastinate. I'm not if me tell you said tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, I'm gonna get that done, you can shut your eye. You don't even have to wake up 11 o'clock, me I get that done. I expect everybody coming in my life supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah.
And it causes you to put pressure on your friendship, pressure on your relationship, pressure in your life. It causes people don't want to be around you, a part of nothing that you're doing. It makes people think that you belittle them, thinking that they're not good enough, and all of these things. And I start working on me, seriously. I put up with some things these days. Papa God, can I told you that if it was 2-3 years ago, somebody would have probably get a high holy right, grease up with some olive oil. Yeah, but I'm learning as I'm going along. So I mean, some people wonder how they don't burn me out. Some people wonder how they don't wear me out. Some people wonder, oh, I mean, it might take so much foolishness from that person there. It's because I realize they're just half pint. Then can't give me a gallon. Some just deal with them. When they reach their half pint, me just top it up and do what me supposed to do. It's reality. So I mean, as the question asks, you have to know what you want. Yeah. And as a leader, if I'm just developing myself,
Right.
and nobody around me, I fail. And being a perfectionist, you cannot expect everybody who's coming, depending on you for the development, to just walk in the room and be at where you are.
Right. Yeah.
You have to show a level of patience.
Yeah.
Make some sacrifice. Make some serious input and investment in them. When people think about investment, they only think about dollars and cents, right? But the time, the words that you choose to use, you have some people you can't say certain things to them, you know. It kill them dead. You have to go around Jericho wall 50 times and come back, and then we could have just go straight and tell them. So it is the truth. If one person cannot identify the want that they want, your job just cut out for you.
And also, if I can just add to what Pastor Jerry just said, in essence, a true leader, your followers are supposed to reflect who you really are, because you're supposed to be developing them so they reflect you. Just like Jesus Christ, we are a reflection of him. You understand? So a leader needs, as you said, perfect. You need to invest. You understand? If you mean those around you well, you invest in them. One of the things that I used to say, and I don't say it anymore, is that, you know what? Let's build on their strength. No. What are your weakness? I want to build up your weakness. But we used to say, you know what? Let's focus on the strength. Don't worry about the weakness. No. Let's build on your weakness. Bring it to a capacity that both your weakness now is your strength in a positive way. And that's the responsibility of a leader, to do that, to invest. If in essence, you're then just a dictator, you're not a leader.
Yep.
I mean, one really need to be.
That's the real talk. That's the real talk. I have to buckle myself down. This is not real.
No, go ahead. Lego. Don't tie down or buckle down.
It's hot topic, so it's hot. So it's come on hot.
The thing, go ahead.
It's not the real talk, Cat. It's not the real talk.
You see, the thing is, and we want our viewers to understand, because people looking in themselves right now, we don't need the Spirit of God to tell you that. It's natural when people start to point out strength and weakness. Once you go on that limb, people looking in the mirror. Yeah. The truth is why some people seems to be cannot reach. It's like you can't reach them. They're not teachable. Mm-hmm. They want you to help them, but they don't want the shame of it.
Right.
They don't want nobody to know. I've had people come to me and whisper to me and tell me, Pastor, I'm in a bowl like you, but tell nobody say me can't read, you know. But you know, do that for me and say that for me and say that for me. And I said, get up and just talk. Yeah, they want to hold it down, but yet still they want to learn. How can you learn if the teacher don't know where you are?
Yeah. Exactly.
When I walk into the chef school and I tell that teacher the day straight up, brother, I can't read and write, you know, but I'm a very good cook. If you give them all the book work and give me the practical work, you will see the difference. And the man, he thought I was joking. Is the second evening in the class. He took me serious. And when he look at me and he tell the whole class, he say, all right, we're going to give Mr. Arbine all practical. Everybody even make my work harder. But you know what? I do it with everything inside of me.
Right. Yeah.
I graduate top of 33 people. It's to the levels.
Wow.
Me, I make you know where I'm at because I want to be developed. I want to do better. I want to get to a better place, right? And I'm saying to those of you who are hiding behind these masks and these walls, if you don't tear it down and take off the mask, you're going dead right where you're dead. It's just the gospel truth. You're not going to know what it is to achieve. You know much people out there with bright minds and all the things, they get all inheritance. You see the levels, yeah? And then it's not brag and boast. They don't reach in life. And if you cannot tell where you're at without being afraid, people going to say you're bossy, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
I value myself, me mark myself, me give myself exam and test, me do all of that with myself because you know what? I must be progressive. I must be moving on. I cannot be at the same place for too long because time now wait for nobody.
Yeah.
But Pastor Jerry, you know what the problem is with somebody like that? It becomes a trust factor now. Because you have persons who want to come out. I've had persons call me who was asked to preach at places, and they call me and say, Minister Nash, could you help me put my message together? And I've listened, and I've literally, honestly, sat with them. You understand? Help them put to this day, they're thanking me. You understand? Because guess what? They're looking for somebody who is not gonna think, what? Pastor Jerry no know us, Minister Gardner know for preach, I should go on like shed that. They're looking for somebody who they can trust with that weakness, who are not gonna use it against them. So that could be a problem with somebody like that. You understand? And also it goes back again to say we as individuals have to be honest with ourselves. If you can't do something, don't take the job knowing you can't do it. Because then when you get into the job, you're going to be an open shame. It's better to say, you know what? I thank you that you've considered me for this position. But unfortunately, I'm not good at spelling. Unfortunately, I'm not good at reading. And the person could say, you know what? I'm going to send you to school. I'm going to invest in you. But if you take the executive job and the typing speed is supposed to be 100 and you can only type two words, 2 letters an hour, when you get to the job, they're going to be expecting responsibility and to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
At least you get some good one that come back and thank you. I've had pastors, bishops, call me on the phone, Pastor Journal, help me with this text and what you think about this text. And they think I don't know what they're doing. And I go ahead and tell them what I think about the text. And they were like, wow. And then later on I hear the message. And I mean, seriously, Minister Mary was on our Sunday morning service the other day preaching. And she went back. She was preaching about Nehemiah rebuilding the wall. And she went back as to how and when it started and why. And you see her people preach about Nehemiah and building the wall. So if he said it just started when the wall teared down and one build. I didn't even wait for her to come off to tell her thanks. I learned something. I learned the following week, just last week, while she was on, that Nehemiah born in exile. He weren't there. Me just I learned that I don't care who wants a pastor go all over the world and preach. Until when I learn, me they have to learn. And if you want to laugh off of me while me I learn and talk to me learn at your 4 o'clock that you're going to even know say at the end of the day me learn. Yeah. And until persons take this attitude and habits in learning to develop themselves, it not gonna work. You can't develop under shame. You can't.
And you know what? I think we have to want to, you know what I'm saying? Because you cannot keep your disability hidden and still want to move on. You have to grab a hold of it, say, this is where I'm weak, this is where I need help. And like Minister Nas said, and Pastor, is that, you know, people that understand, because none of us has everything. None of us know everything. I'm learning new things every day. I just found out a cousin of mine is a psychologist, and I'm picking her brain. You know what I'm saying? And so we our skills, as long as we're here, as long as we are engaged in people's lives, we want to grow in order for us to feed them, to develop them, because God is sending people in your path. They're depending on your words. They're depending on your knowledge. They're depending on your ability. They're depending on your skills. And so you have to keep up. You've got to keep it cutting edge. You got to keep, you know, learning and improving yourself so that you can better somebody else. Because guess what? It is not about us. One of the other things that I want to say too is that you have to, what is keeping you back from getting to where you want? Okay, so you reached a point where you realize, okay, I know this is what I want to do. What is keeping one back? What do you think are some of the things that will keep a person back from pursuing what it is that they want to do? What are some of the areas?
It could be time. They might say they want to do something, but they look at it to say, well, they can't factor in that time as yet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Make that need met. Because say, for example, it could be that, okay, one get up one day and say, you know what? In this job as a PSW, and I believe that I have it within me to further my education. I'd love to be a RPN. I'd love to be a registered nurse. Right? But when they look at their life circumstances, okay, there are young children, okay, there are, mortgage to be paid or rent to be paid, okay, there are other financial obligations. And then it's to say, okay, to go to school full time, because being a registered nurse, it requires full-time learning.
Right.
One day I cannot, I'm not at a place financially where I'm going to that investment to go to school full time. So sometimes it's the time that is a factor. Now, then I guess there are ways that sometimes we can try to work around that, is to say, okay, let's start out small. Yes, now I'm a personal support worker. I'm going to do the RPN, which is the registered practical nurse. Okay, that I can do part-time basis. It might be easier to factor in that time a little bit more, and then see things stand financially when I become a registered practical nurse, and then bridge into doing the registered nurse program. Because sometimes the process, you even though you might want to just jump in it head on, because the time factor and the responsibility factor, we might not always be able to do that. However, if we say, okay, I'm going to take it brick by brick, like Nehemiah building the wall, then, you know, that might be a better way to consider doing it in order to ultimately get to your goal.
Yeah. So time, what else could be a factor there?
I also believe with what Mr. Gordon said, prioritizing could also be a problem. How to prioritize and to move forward. Another thing could be lack of faith and belief. As
confidence.
and I don't want to get too spiritual, but it's like you don't, because of your current situation, you don't see yourself achieving what you want to achieve.
There you go. Yeah.
What I've been talking on Real Talk about, don't focus on what you're seeing. You got to focus and work on what you're believing. So I'm believing that I'm going to be a registered nurse. I believe that I'm going to full-time ministry. Now I'm just here, but I'm going to build to where I see myself going and focusing on that. So what do I need to do to get to where? I got to find out all the tools. I got to find out the steps and then work on that. I was just talking to one of my coworker earlier, and I said to her, you know what? I said to her, listen, I've been offered, position in management and all of that. And I said to them, listen, I do not want no manager's job. Any moving up, I'm moving out is through the door, because I don't see myself here, because I'm believing that God is taking me to a place where I have access to travel. I would like to visit prisons, women prisons around the world, you understand, and do lots of things. So I am not going to get myself stuck here, because I am seeing myself here, but I'm believing myself somewhere else. So why would I want to take why would I want to take a position in management when I'm looking to go through the door? So we got to focus
vision is very important.
But Minister Mary, and I have 5 minutes before I have to go, but I want to touch on that. Let us not, it's a very important, your vision, but don't be stuck on just your vision. You got to take that vision to mission, because mission is where the vision is being applicable, right? Many of us have visions, but until we get it to the mission, I don't know what happened there just now.
Okay. Come back in.
Sorry. Yeah. Many of us get stuck at just the vision, but let us bring it to the mission. When we bring it to the mission, we're actually working the vision. Many persons have died with visions in their belly, never bringing it to the mission state. Always say to yourself, in Habakkuk chapter 2, the prophet, you understand, when God said to him, write the vision, make it plain. You understand, though it is going to come to pass, your vision must come to a mission state. Your vision isn't just vision. You got to bring it to a mission state where it's now tangible, active, and working. And
let me pin a question, because you're leaving. Where do you think that the church has fallen in terms of the vision aspect, and for persons to be able to implement the vision? Instead of staying and praying about the vision, they should be working towards the vision, giving it hands-on, giving it feet, giving it mouth, giving it what it needs to in order for it to manifest. What do you think where we have failed there?
The church has failed in developing people. Do you understand? We're good at preaching at people. We're good at baptizing people. Some of us are good at casting out demons, but we're failing at developing people. Another thing that we're failing at is making disciples. We try to produce leaders that have not been discipled are chaos out there. So we're failing in I wish, and I was saying to, I think one of my shows, I was saying, they should have like how they have Sunday school and this, they should have a developmental class.
Yes.
Yeah. You understand? Where you develop yourself. Right. Your doctorate does not mean you're developed. Your prophet so-and-so does not mean you're developed. Your, you know what I'm trying to say? We're failing in developing these women of God. And guess what? As Pastor Jerry said, some of them don't want to wait. The minute they come out of Bible school, they think that they're developed. The minute they get that ordination, they think they're developed. And as I said the other day on Real Talk, a lot of us are preaching with one foot. A lot of us are preaching with one hand. A lot of us are preaching with one eye. Why? Because we bypass the development stage.
Yeah, you can't bypass that. Yeah, good answer. Good.
That is so, Rafa. If you don't finish, go ahead, because you're running.
No, my coworker just came in, but I was just saying, right, that I think that's
saw that kiss.
I just church has failed, and we need to start developing persons, not just baptizing them, not just preaching to them, but bringing them to a place that you can look at them and you can say, you know what, I have poured into this person. And this is my take where I think we have failed. And again, too, somebody who has an awesome vision, you understand, that is not developed is self-destructive.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I don't even want to preach here. A person who has a vision that is not developed is self-destructive. They're like a time bomb.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about it. Think about a person who's not developed but has trying to implement a vision in a state of he's not developed. He is about to blow up everybody that's under him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part where, and you know, I mean, oh God, help me.
But that's like baking a cake and you don't have all the ingredients in it.
Exactly. It's a Pastor Joe would have said, come on, like total.
If I may add something here, as you the last question you're saying, where do we think that the church has failed? In my opinion, yes, in my opinion, it's easy for someone in leadership position to say, I want to see my people grow. But if someone is saying that and they themselves have insecurity, when it comes to the people's growth and development, they will always try to keep them at bay and try to, and again, learning to overcome objective. It can help in this area, because sometimes people will say, I want to see you grow. I want to see you develop. I want to see you grow. I want to see you develop. I have your best interests at heart. But when people are putting their best foot forward in going forward into growth and development, sometimes the same people claim to
sabotage. Yep.
the same one beat them down.
Yeah.
Same one will say things that will, let people feel bad and feel discouraged and feel like, what's the point in trying?
Yeah.
But Minister Gordon, I'll tell you something.
Go ahead, Minister.
That person is an insecure leader. Period. That person is an insecure leader, because if I'm a leader, I want those who I'm leading to surpass me.
Yep.
I want them to grow.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They're my investment. If I am going to pour into you, you understand? And that's what's happening. Oh, glory to God. My coworkers preaching with me. Listen, if you are a leader and you're not insecure, you are going to invest in me. That you can sit back and you can say, wow, you go, Vivian. Look at that. So if I'm going to tell you to come up the ladder, and you're coming up the ladder, and as you come up, I'm kicking you down because I am insecure.
Yeah.
And any leader that is like that, you are a dictator. You are trying to conduce a cocoon of a cult. You're not a leader. Right. A leader's responsibility is to train and develop and implement and position so they can execute. You cannot execute unless you equip glory to God, unless you equip your army for battle. So if you are a genuine leader, that's why I say, Jesus, help me. You cannot have jealousy. You cannot be intimidated. You cannot be fearful. You got to pour in. If you're not doing that, you're not a leader. You're taking a walk all by yourself, and all that's following you is dust.
Mm-hmm. And then persons are in church, and they are going around the circle. They like the Israelites. They don't have, they're going around the mountain. They should have been there for a week, but they end up being there 40 years and then has nothing to show for it.
You're right, Minister Mary. And it's sad to say, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to borrow the quotation of Mr. Noel Jones. Sometimes to grow means you got to go. It's just plain as that. If you desire to grow, then you just got to go. Because guess what? God is going to require and ask you, what did you do with those gifts? You cannot tell him that Vivian stopped you. You cannot tell him that Vivian. No, you got to deal with those dried up branch, those dried up leaves. Get rid of them before they infect your branch, and go attach yourself to the true vine, a true essence of leadership that is connected to the source, which is Jesus Christ. And you connect yourself with that leader as he's connected with God, and you draw from him, because he will develop you. And even when you are weak, he will carry you as a leader.
Yeah.
You see, I learned something from Uncle John the Baptist. Uncle John the Baptist and Uncle Barnabas taught me that there are leaders that fit different capacity and characters. You have leaders that they are good leaders, but they're selfish leaders. You find that they pour into people, but they pour into people as much as to benefit only them.
Yeah, it's true.
So I am only teaching you what to benefit me as long as you stick connected with me.
Yeah.
I am not going to pour in you that if you should detach from me, you are able to function
without me.
So you have another set of leaders that micromanage.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They micromanage you to everything, to the T. So you find that those that micromanages others, they are leaders that don't trust people.
Yeah.
That they are developing.
That's true.
Lest you shine brighter than me.
Yeah.
Lest you get 50 amen when you only get 5, 10 hallelujah. You have people that drop a ground, and when you call a altar call line, the queue long all out the door. When we call it, nobody else they want to come. Lest when you preach, everybody on their feet, and when I preach, they sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a problem with that for years with our church leaders, and I used to bash them hard. But the day God opened my eyes to that, I realized that yes, they are leaders. They are leaders, but they are columns to their leadership. I've been on the pastor's wings that the first time they give me a chance to preach, when I get the second one. And now me go on the Pastor Johnson wing that from him hear me preach, him take the back burner and said, you know what, you are the evangelist. Let me equip you and let you go forward. I've never done a crusade that he's a part of. I want to finish. I feel like he's threatened and it might not. No, never. We stay in our lane, right? No, that's where the church lack. The church lack of leaders that realize that I am here to develop, and when I develop it to the full 100 and the entirety that this person is supposed to develop, then after that, I expect them to germinate, I expect them to grow, I expect them to bring forth fruit. Remember, John always tell the people about Jesus.
Yeah.
In a word, if you tie that man has shoes lace. Yeah. And then when Jesus come and said, this is the man me I tell you about, you know. And then when he baptized Jesus, Jesus go down the road and even check the book. The book never said Jesus go baptize nobody. The Bible said Jesus baptized them, though he didn't baptize them himself. Him preach, teach, and the disciples go baptize the people. When a John the Baptist, the brethren, now run down the path, you see the same man where you just pour in, you shouldn't pour in him. Because see them have a bigger congregation than you know, what John said. Yeah, that's good. I must decrease that he increase.
That's right.
These leaders don't want to decrease. All when time them a walk with stick and then can't tap the stick, can't manage them, and then can't manage the stick. They still a hold upon the pulpit. Yeah? Then now let it go. And if them let it go, them let it go give them children. Lord God, hush. Yeah, it's reality.
Yeah.
It's a beauty when a leader know his and her role in people's life. You let them go. You deposit in them and let them go. Because I'm going to tell you this that you don't know. I know someone in the background. I know someone in the background. I see Brother Milton upon the scene. Yes, Brother Milton.
To do a couple comments because we're doing time check is 9 to 9. So I could go ahead.
Yeah, just as I finish this. Wherever Minister Nash, I always admire the relationship with Minister Nash and Evangelist Gordon. I saw them in person together. I watched them on Real Talk together. Minister Nash and I have never spoken about what Minister Gordon means to her. Me and Minister Gordon never spoke, but you can see that Minister Nash developing up Evangelist Gordon so that Evangelist Gordon can take this probably where she can't take it. And that's how a leader should think. This person, when I let them go, they're supposed to go where I can't go. They're supposed to outdo me. Jesus did it. Jesus said, let me do something. So when I go, you're going to do greater than when I do.
But Minister Jerry, before Evangelist Gordon do you know when I go on missions with my team, I'm the leader, and I preach the less? You see, because I'm the leader, I'm not the one that opens up the convention. I sit down and I allow them to do it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because guess what? When you have confidence in who you are, you're not afraid to put people in the front. You understand? I let them open and I let them preach more and do more. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because guess what? A leader is supposed to be able to showcase his persons and sit back and say, good job. Not be intimidated and jealous. And as you said, every leader has their own column. We don't all lead the same way. Those of you who have been under my leadership, I like to put you out there because I believe that you're able to do it, not because I can't do it. And I always say to them, when I ask you to do something, it's not because I can't do it, but it's my responsibility to put you out there.
Well, profound, but we really want to interact as well. Go ahead, Minister Gordon, because I not even know Sabrina Milton get freedom from the tie. Yes.
So Mr. Holland is saying, let the pastors and bishops stop thinking it's their church and let God's people know we're workers together and achieve the goal that God need us to be. Diliana, she's saying, if you are not sending people into their purpose and destiny, you're not a true leader. And this is where Minister Milton came in and said, good evening to you leaders and viewers of tonight's hot topic. And he was also saying it has been a very interesting program thus far. Minister Diliana said, amen, that is right, Pastor Redeem. Oh yes, to the micromanagers. They have trust issues, inferiority complexes. Yes. Yes. And Marcia is saying, thanks for the teaching. It's good. Yes.
So it's reality. I mean, I realize that because all those that I've been through and now reach to Pastor Johnson and look at my life for the 6 years, he's been my senior pastor. Now, Pastor Johnson molded me so much that right now he is the bishop of the New Testament Church, the senior pastor of the head New Testament Church, and I am his assistant. You see what I'm saying? I am his assistant. Now, when I look at that, I must be able to take somebody else and do the same, because I'm not going to be here forever. I might feel strong and powerful now, but let me try it at 70 years of age or at 75. Well, look, a 20-year-old man coming up under my wings will be able to do me, not going to be able to do it. So this is where the church dropped the ball, that the older folks should take the experience and equip the younger folks with it and send them out. They still want micromanage. They want to check the message. Them tell you preach youth Sunday, but they want to check your message. And if your message look hotter than them, then hold the paper and you know get it back. You go hear them preach it somewhere else around the corner. They don't trust you to carry on, so they have to be there at all time. And it is sad because when them dead and gone, who are going to carry on?
Yeah.
Isaac look at me at 2 months old, he want to be a drummer. A drumstick me I buy for him. A drum me I look for him. Whether me every time that me I go save towards it. Because we need to develop people. And if you move it from a broad scale and bring it down in the family, a lot of parents don't develop their children. Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, academically, educationally, all of them, they don't do it. Because you know what? Me carry water upon my head, you carry water upon your head too. For me daddy kick on my foot and run nowhere, so me go kick on your foot and run nowhere too. Me get pregnant, not me, no, Jerry, that no sound right. Mommy says she get pregnant. Mommy says she get pregnant at 16 out of school, and you know 17, go and go look, man. You see the levels? We tend to deal with our children according to how we were dealt with. And that is not development. That's a generation curse we're prolonging.
Yeah.
But when you look at your child and can tell your child, say, you know what? Not because I drop out of school with you in my belly. You go and go to college. You go and get your degrees. You go and get your masters. You go and become, you see what I'm saying? This is what we're lacking.
That's right. And you're perfectly right about that, because I have 2 girls, and when they say, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, I'm like, no, 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 no. You don't want to be just like me. You want to be better than me in every single way. I said, look at me. Look at how hard I work. Look at all these things. And I'll point it out to them. And I said, no, I don't want that for you. I want better for you. So when you go to school, taking everything you can get. Like I was telling my older daughter from, she was like in maybe grade 7 or grade 6, somewhere there. I said, think about what you want to be when you grow up and start working towards it from now, right? Subject that you will need to take in order to get there. Don't wait until you're in university or college or anything like that and say, okay, yes, now the light bulb just go off. This is what I want to do. Because you would have wasted some years, you know, in essence, because now you're going to have to say, okay, well, I have to go do this one or I have to do that. I have to do some kind of upgrades. When you know what you want to do now is the opportune time that you can, you know, work towards it. When Minister Nash say her daughter is nurse for 15 years, somebody would think, oh my goodness, she's so old. No, you know, but when she know from a young age what she wants to do, she just go right in it, right? There's no break, because some people, they're like, you know, high school is done. I'm going to take a 2 years break. I'm going to go work at some fast food joint. And then later on, they realize that, hey, the world that we're living in now, the fast food joint is not really cutting it. So now they realize, okay, I have to go back to school. I have to go get developed in a certain area. So when, as you spoke, Pastor, that, you know, the children, they're not being developed from the young age. When we can see their potential, when we can speak into them, when we can encourage them, it's not to necessarily to say choose what they're supposed to do, because you know what, if they don't love what they're gonna do, they'll go through school just to go through the motion and then sit down and not do it. But when we can dig in and find out what they enjoy doing and coach them in the right direction, they just go straight into it, and it make a world of difference. And you're perfectly right. What children go through at times is generational curse.
Okay, can I interject?
Go ahead, Minister.
I just have to interject because I have to turn over the shift. So my coworker is very nice, waiting on me, enjoying the show, but I have to I got to turn over the shift now. So I don't know, are we going to say our goodbye or how? I mean,
it's a privilege having you. We're looking forward to you another Thursday night when you're not working.
Yes,
because
yes.
You know, you got so much more inside of you on this topic.
Yes, you know what? I'm honored to be a part of it, and I do hope and trust that somebody really got something out of it. They're
Yes.
motivated to get themselves going, believe in themselves, believe in their giftings. And one of the things that I can suggest and I encourage you to do is to get deliverance from the opinions of people. That could stop your progress in regards to developing yourself. Get delivered for that. Once you get delivered from that, you are through the door.
Amen.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It was great having you. Thank you and have a great night.
Yes, thank you. God
Bless.
bless everyone. Grace, peace, and mercy be unto you. Remember, you have the heart of a champion, the mind of an overcomer, and the spirit of more than a conqueror.
And
Good.
remember, you have 5 feet on 1 inches.
Remember, believe what you want to see. I am 6 feet tall.
All right. All
Good
right.
night, Minister Mary. Good night, everyone.
God bless.
God bless you.
So
Amen.
profound, though. Before we go back to the chat, Minister Mary, I always hear people talk about late boomers, and I thought to myself that, wow, it makes sense, late boomers. And then when I realized that most of me reading and all of that now take place, developed since Jumpstart, really, you know, there was a little thing back there, but more so every day coming to Jumpstart. I burn a fire upon the late boomers thing. I'm going to tell you why. What they are calling late boomers is people who afraid and refuse to spend time, more time to develop people. Late bloomers, that's all they need. They just need somebody to sit in with them more time.
Right.
Give them some more time. Rather than just let them until them come up to par. Yeah? Spend some more time with them. Late boomers. Say that they're late boomers because you know what? They're too dig and laid back.
Yeah.
They want to learn in secret. They want to learn with the same jacket on. And I recognize that, whoa, since Jumpstart to now, I am like, whoa. I said, no late boomers. It's just people need people to, why you think Minister Garden, when I come to Jumpstart with a text, she spend the time and go in the dictionary and pull out meaning. It's not me ask her for do it, you know. She realized that journal can learn.
Yeah.
If somebody spend time, put in journal what journal need to learn.
Exactly.
She realized from one time she gave me the meaning for something, she realized I stretch it out this. She said, whoa, don't forget, you know what I'm going to do? I go and have a dictionary. And when him touch certain things, I go and give the meaning. Because once he hear it, it riveted. I said, Minister Mary did it. Minister Mary don't know, say me know, say a teacher teach me something the other day. When she get me on her program, I say she reading something from a book to put in my mind, to whatever. I know that she know that I'm a fast learner, right? And once I hear it, I can build on that.
Right.
So there is no such thing about late boomers. It's just people lazy and refuse to give more time to slow learners. They give them a fancy name, late boomers, and they accept it.
What you're doing, you're capitalizing on your strength.
Yeah.
And your strength become your success and your progress now. And so you'll find yourself very real comfortable with words that you see as you read them, because you're doing it every day. You're doing it, you're hearing it, you're applying it, you're doing it. There's hands-on. Reading is just like that. The fundamentals of reading is I always tell the students, and if you want to, I don't like to read. I can't read. I say, the best way to read is to read.
Yeah, but you know,
the best way to learn to read is to read. Even if you're stumbling on words, read and get somebody to help you to pronounce those words. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you're doing it on a regular basis, you'll be surprised how fluently you can read.
I have persons used to laugh at me. The old nasty hypocrite them used to come in at the background at Jumpstart just to laugh at me when me I try mark register. And then they hear me say, and then we have DILLIANA. If we can call it, we spell it. They used to laugh at me and that. And they say, what's the idiot them? They don't know say I am unstoppable. So if you think me go spend time bite off my tongue try to pronounce Diliana, even if I hear one on to call it for our program, you wouldn't know it until today. You see the levels. And then what happened again? I'll tell this side say, if journal can spell it, if I pronounce it for journal will be anyway. So you used to hear me reach a part where me spell it out, DILLIANA, DILLIANA, and then I say, I know I'm going to get it in a voice note later. And because I know once she hear me spell it out, she going to send me a back. Me not shame me. Maybe shame I want a joke at all, as they would have said in Antigua. I am about developing up myself.
Mhm.
And before I die, I'm supposed to be able to tell my grandchildren. Yeah?
Mm.
It's reality, and that's what I'm about. So if me have to just continue like that, spell it out, call it when me can't call it, me spell it. And look there, some of them were laughing back then, shame now, because they hear me I run through this like a rocket, and reading comments.
Minister Diliana, she said, haha, you're saying my name good now.
Can't tell you that me massacre that name that first, you know. Yeah, man, me massacre that first, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
That really sealed the question that we're asking. What is keeping you from getting to where you want to go? What is
Keep
keeping
yourself.
you? You have to ask yourself those questions. They're important. And if you can answer them, you can master them.
amen.
As pastor, he knows what he needs to do. And he's not afraid. He's still in a public, everybody that watch Jumpstart or whatever it is know about it, but he's not allowing it to handicap him.
That's right.
You see what I mean? Probably before the end of the year, he will be. I've heard him read the register, and I don't see him stumbling or spelling out name. Listen, whenever I call the kid's name when I was at work, I'm not working now, and I see a name, I'm like, I do not know how to pronounce the name. I'm going to spell it, and you tell me how it's pronounced.
So I got company.
So you see, there are some names. It's like, what is that?
So I remember. This is how I know that there are persons watching in the background. I remember go to a church and sit down, and the pastor dropping little dirty mouth word for me. I talk about, and some people think that being a minister, you have to learn to read and write. You cannot talk about, can't call it, you can't spell it. I want to take off my boot and clap him. Me say that you really are going to say, you know what me do? Since me find out that the bug of them sit down in the overflow room, I laugh and chat, me just come and do it for the better. And them say now when I'm here, Minister Garden can make it to the forum because I work at Keon. And me I run through the register. Could have 200 somebody there. Me I run through the register. And very seldom you find that I will buck up on a word when I stumble over.
And repetition is the key to learning.
Boy, may I tell you, it's reality. And I'm saying if we want to develop ourselves, what's stopping us? We are stopped ourselves.
That's it.
Nobody now stop with.
In many cases. We are at 10:17, and there is something I have to do quickly before we end, if that is okay.
Yes, I see where Marsha appears to say there is no shame in learning.
That's right. Oops, this just went right in front of my screen that I wanted. Sorry about that.
Is that still a positive note, COVID-19?
This is what I want. So, yes, COVID-19 got you feeling down, feeling stressed out, relationship problems, tired of staying home, anxiety taking over, tired of expensive counseling? Let's talk about it. To make an appointment, contact Minister Mary Phillips. And the number is there, 813-610-7222. Yes, it will be session via Zoom. Payments options are available and flexible time schedule, and you are guaranteed to feel better. Yes, yes, yes. We basically tailor these segments to bring out some, some of what Minister Phillips does. She's not going to bring everything to the table. No, no, no. Everything she's not going to bring to the table, because guess what? She has to hold back some for that time when she's making her appointment. So, as you see it for yourself this evening, she will ask pertinent questions that will allow each and every one to look within themselves to say, okay, where do I need to be developed? What are the things that are hindering me? What about the goals? Do I need to plan some goals for my life? Yes, we need short-term goals. We need long-term goals. What are the tools that we're using to help us to get there? How are we going to get there? So regardless of what the situation is, you can call Minister Phillips and she will help to steer you in the right direction. And that's the commercial break. And your final thought, both of you, and we will be closing for tonight.
All I'm saying to us, old pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, yeah, redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help me sing? Would they whoa, the song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, yeah, is a redemption song. Redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. No matter ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Yes, some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help me sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, yes, is a redemption song. Is a redemption song. Nobody now stop we, but we are stop ourselves. Let us free ourselves. Let us free ourselves mentally. Yeah. That's it for me for the night.
Amen.
I just want to say one quick thing about I'm doing a GoFundMe, and I hope you don't mind, Pastor. I'm helping.
Don't mind. Minister Philip, you need to wipe off yourself.
Okay. I'm so hard. I'm having some kids that is needing some laptop in the islands. I want to thank Carlene Douglas. She donated towards the cause, and thank you. So we have collected so far $174. We're trying to at least try to get in the next couple of weeks at least one laptop for them to start their work. I wanted to get like 2 laptops, some other stuff that they needed. And so if you don't mind, nothing too small, $2, $5, it adds up. And so if we make it happen for somebody, God is going to make it happen for you.
But we don't know what these children can become. So you might just enhance in something great. An ex-prime minister, an ex-evangelist, an ex-pastor. Yeah, you're giving to something like, it's the first I'm doing the GoFund thing. 2 of them me have doing. Me I do the one with Minister Garden and this one here. You see what I'm saying? And I believe everybody here on Topic Live tonight can visit these 2 GoFundMe thing. And if it's even $1, if it's even 10 cents, blessed is the man that consider the poor, the less fortunate. You see the levels. I honestly believe that's another area with failing. Everybody just holding for themselves. Nobody wants it. I mean, from Minister Garden start hers and you start this, you should get them laptop long time and all of them stuff there, because there are persons here that God calls people to pour into, to give to bless to. And why God calls people to bless you? So that you can bless back somebody. So I'm hoping by tomorrow, see Minister Philip, she will be thanking more people, and Minister Alte will be thanking more people for giving into. I'm doing it. I'm just waiting on Minister Garden to give her the go ahead to do my stuff, because they say she's my trusted cousin. Is it the levels?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So
Amen.
yeah, man.
So thank you guys in advance, because you could trust me. I would not be every penny that comes in.
Don't even say it, Minister Philip. Minister Philip, please don't go there.
Wipe the other corner.
You know, you have to put out that disclaimer, you know.
People know genuine God people. They know. They trust me. They know genuine God people.
Yes. And just want to thank you once again, Minister Philip, for the awesome job you're doing. Greet up everyone. If we haven't called your name, we just want to say thank you for being with us here tonight. It's always a wonderful thing to have you. And we just give God thanks for tonight. We give God thanks for what we have learned. We pray that we will implement the things that we have learned so that we can become better individuals, more well-rounded individuals as we touch and as we affect lives. And you know, those who are in the overflow, those who are on the forum, if they see where they fit into this, anywhere they fit in, it could be in a great way, large way, it could be in a small way, whatever the way is that we see this fit into our life, let us incorporate it so that we can become a better us. I can become a better me, you can become a better you, so that we are more impactful in the kingdom of God and in this earth and in the life of humanity, because that's what we're striving to do. All right. So thank you so very much for joining us tonight. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you. We love and
Brother Milton, big up yourself. Cousin open. Sunday soon come.
blessing everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Good night, everyone. God bless.